Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
The loss of Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Madi will remain in your hearts and minds for the rest of your journey.
The 4 U of I students fatally stabbed in their off-campus home were honored during today's commencement ceremony. This would have been the day that Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogen would have walked across that stage to accept their degrees. Instead, their families took their spot. Bronte Sorotsky went down to Moscow for the graduation today. She joined us now in studio with how those 4 students, along with the graduating class of 2023, were honored by the university.
Well, Jordan, today was a day for the University of Idaho's class of 2023 to celebrate its achievements. This class overcoming a pandemic, along with the loss of their classmates in a difficult academic journey. Today, the university honoring the class of 2023 and the students whose lives were stolen from them.
Through a fiscal crisis, a pandemic, and a horrific tragedy that could shatter any community, but did not.
As members of the University of Idaho's class of 2023 get ready to start a new chapter in their lives, they took time to remember their classmates that should have finished the school year alongside them.
The loss of Ethan, Xana, Kaylee, and Madi will remain in your hearts and minds for the rest of your journey.
On Saturday, those 4 students were remembered for their contributions to the university and by those who knew them.
The strength and inspiration of their life accomplishments and their families' devotion and courage is now an inseparable part of you as you go forward.
Ethan Chapin was pursuing a degree in recreation, sport, and tourism management. That certificate was sent to his family. Earlier this week, the university held a private ceremony for Xana Kernodle's family, awarding them her certificate in marketing. And on Saturday, the day Madison Mogen was set to graduate with a degree in marketing, members of her family accepted that degree in her place.
I hereby confer upon Madison May Mogen the posthumous degree earned, in testimony whereof her family will receive the diploma of the University of Idaho.
As did Kaylee Gonsalves' family, who would have graduated with a degree in general studies.
This is a moment for us to acknowledge the contributions they've made and celebrate their academic achievement with their families here today.
The university also honored Guadalupe Ruiz, a student killed in a car crash last August with a posthumous bachelor's degree in criminology. Live in studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
The Junior Lilac Parade happened this afternoon. Middle school bands, drill units, youth organizations, and other clubs took to the streets. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Crocker, was the MC for the parade. It's an event she's been hosting for the past 22 years. And right now you're taking a look outside of Riverfront Park. Graduations, parades. It's been a very busy and beautiful Saturday downtown today. Meteorologist Matt Gray joined us here in studio. Matt, a really warm weekend.
A really warm weekend, but you can't ask for much better weather than this. Everything's blooming around town. Mother's Day is tomorrow. Lots of people probably going out for lunch or maybe just taking a walk around the park. I would probably suggest you do that early, considering how warm we got today. You take a look around the region where this strong high building across the northwest in Canada. We're in the 80s in Spokane. We're in the 90s on the other side of the mountains in Portland, and even as far up north in Edmonton, Alberta. They're in the 80s as well. So some really unusual weather at this point in the year, and that these unusual temperatures rather will continue into tonight. Look at this, a low of only 57 tonight in Spokane, only 56 in Coeur d'Alene, lows only in the 60s in Moses Lake and Lewiston and around the Grand Coulee as well. So opening the windows to cool off at night, not going to be nearly as effective as perhaps it was last week. For your Mother's Day, high of around 84, so yeah, get out a little bit earlier if you want to take a walk with mom, see some of the blooming flowers around our parks in the region. It will be nice and sunny, however, so a really nice looking day. But our temperature ranges start to climb up here as we get later into the week and beyond into even next weekend, including the potential for our first 90-degree day of the year. So I'm tracking more hot weather, and we'll show you who has a chance for some thunderstorms as well in your extended forecast.
All right, Matt, we're all looking forward to that. And with the temps on the rise, you might be tempted to try and take a dip in the river to cool off. But a word of caution, the water may look calm on the surface, but because of spring runoff, even the strongest of swimmers could be swept away. And aside from that, the water is still extremely cold, and your body could go into shock if you're not careful. The Spokane Parks and Rec Department has given the green light to a new dog park on Upriver Drive. The approved site is just outside city limits near Minnehaha, Climbing Rocks, and Shields Park. People who live in the area told 4 News Now they felt blindsided by the proposal, saying they didn't know it was happening. One of their biggest concern was increased traffic.
Is going to become a problem. There is nothing there to limit the speed of the traffic in terms of a physical barrier, no stoplights, there's no crosswalks.
And the department says it's brainstorming design options and will be reaching out to the community for input. Over in Lakeland, the Joint School District is hoping voters approve their 2 separate levies. And if they fail, the district says it could lose things like after-school sports and armed officers in schools. And a quick reminder, this Tuesday, voters in Coeur d'Alene will decide the fate of hundreds of public school employees. The district once again trying to pass its supplemental levy. It originally failed back in March, leaving a $25 million hole in the yearly budget, forcing the school board to declare a financial emergency.
It's a people business. That's what schools are all about. So unfortunately, to make any kind of budget cuts, it's primarily people.
And besides the staff, the district says if the levy fails to pass, 2 schools will have to close. 4 schools rather. Ramsey, Dalton, Bora, and Bryan Elementary are on the short list of schools that could be shut down, and we want to hear from you. So head over to KXLY.com where we have a form to submit your questions or concerns about the levy. The Idaho Doomsday Mom has been found guilty of killing her 2 youngest children and conspiring to kill her husband's former wife. Lori Vallow showed no expression as the judge read the verdict to a packed courtroom down in Boise, the jury finding her guilty of all charges, including the murders of her 17-year-old daughter, Tylee Ryan, and 7-year-old son, J.J. Vallow. She was also found guilty of helping plan the death of her husband, Chad Daybell's ex-wife. J.J.'s grandfather celebrating the verdict.
Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. For one time in my life, I'm kind of lost at words, believe that or not. I hope that nobody ever has to go through this. I hope nobody ever has to see and hear the details of what happened to JJ, to Tylee, and to Tammy.
And Vallow now faces life in prison without the possibility for parole. Daybell has been charged with these murders, but he's being tried separately. A trial date has not yet been set. Well, several priceless artifacts are missing after a string of burglaries targeted a cathedral, a cemetery, and the Myrtle Woldson Performing Arts Center at Gonzaga. Some of those priceless items that were snatched are on your screen now. Gonzaga officials telling us that the suspect is in custody. Patrick Brown scouted out the art center the day before he burglarized the exhibit. In a matter of minutes, he had pried open these cases that were protecting artifacts donated by Myrtle Woldson herself. Some of those artifacts have been recovered, but the majority still remain missing.
I hope that we can recover some of the things that were so specific to her and were engraved to her, and we can keep this replica room as she meant it to be.
And Patrick Brown, that suspect, still remains in custody. We found out he has 23 felony convictions, including 11 for burglary and 2 for attempted burglary. From Taylor Swift to Beyonce, seeing your favorite artist in person this summer is more expensive than ever. What experts are saying is driving these prices, and the amount one woman is willing to pay to see Queen Bee perform live.
And our temperatures continue to rise as we head through the rest of this weekend. Really, the only blip is going to be a chance for a couple of storms before we continue on with some very summer-like weather. I'll show you how it all plays out coming up in just a few minutes.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by waugrant.org. At
4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Hey, did you lock in the ringer for the softball team yet? We really need to repeat as Kubota League champs.
Yeah, check this out. What's up? 56.
Is that Ben Gregg?
Yeah, he can hit, he can pitch, and he sold 3 tractors this morning.
Come to Adams Tractor and get your Kubota today. For new tractors, parts, and service, and with 5 locations, we are the Northwest's biggest and best Kubota dealer.
You filming?
Yep.
Try rolling your wrist, dude.
You gotta focus on balance.
You should switch to sledding. I'm gonna block him.
Good idea.
Don't forget stick work. Hustle's paying off.
Looking for some fun? Then come play for the day at the Coeur d'Alene Casino and discover new ways to win big inside the new Discovery Den, the first and only video game testing room in the U.S. with many of the top manufacturers in the world under one roof, where you get to play them first and decide which games stay and which ones don't. You will set the trends for the future of gaming, only at the Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Welcome home.
Soaring concert prices mean your favorite singer isn't the only one hitting the high notes. ABC's Will Gans says fans are still willing to spend.
This summer, superfans are opening up their vaults.
But not for me, not for me. All I think about is karma.
For Taylor Swift and for Beyonce.
If you ain't getting money, then you ain't got nothing from me.
Some spending whatever it takes to see their faves in concert.
We spent $6,000.
Jessica Chow splurging to see Queen Bee in concert this September.
Experiences are forever. Like, we will never forget this.
Live Nation, the parent company of Ticketmaster, revealing that concert attendance was up 24% last year compared to pre-pandemic numbers from 2019, while the average U.S. concert ticket price coming in at just over $100.
There is the pent-up demand that we've seen that was likely for a hangover from the COVID lockdowns that we all experienced.
And demand this summer is smashing last year's records already.
They are now doing what is called dynamic pricing. And dynamic pricing is basically a technical algorithm where the price goes up based upon the demand, which is so tricky.
Creating the perfect storm for sky-high prices. Manira Al-Sabah flew from Kuwait to see Taylor Swift in Texas last month.
I was able to split a bunch of things with my friends, stay with my sister for a part of it.
To many, flying halfway around the world for a concert sounds crazy.
They'll tell you I'm insane.
But there are some tips for saving. Join official fan clubs for early access to ticket sales to avoid that dynamic pricing. And our expert says to plan a good old-fashioned road trip.
You cut down the cost by driving with a group of friends of 4 of you. You cut down maybe getting a hotel room, splitting that 4 ways.
Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
You know, a few years ago, I bought some concert tickets for my wife's birthday, and the artist canceled the day of because, quote, they ate a tomato.
They ate a tomato?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Just marinate on that for a little bit. Thank goodness we did get the money back. All right, temperatures right now, toasty, sky high. just like those prices. 82 in Spokane, 81 in Coeur d'Alene. There's a few spots still trying to hang out in the 70s. We got close to 90 degrees today in Moses Lake. So you can imagine when we're talking about temperatures being maybe 5, 6 degrees, 10 degrees almost hotter by this time next week. 80-degree days in May. We usually have an average of 4. The record is 15 back in the 1920s. Now, with the way this forecast is with 3 already, I think we could be up in that 10 or 12 range by the time we get to the end of next weekend. And so we'll be might be threatening that record. We'll see how things play out, but certainly a long string of 80-plus degree temperatures will get us a whole lot closer. We warm up a little bit more as we go into Sunday and Monday, dip down just a hair Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we are back even warmer by the time we get to the start of next weekend, including what I think is a very strong chance for our first 90-degree day of the year in May. Definitely not like last spring, that's for sure. Our little dip that I showed you in those temperatures comes from some low pressure that's trying to basically run around this heat dome that's sitting up in Canada. And so what we're going to see is eventually it's going to sit right over us as we get into Monday night and Tuesday. So as early as Monday night, especially around the Blue Mountains, we'll have some thunderstorms swirling their way up from eastern Oregon. I think Tuesday and then Wednesday probably going to be the best days to maybe see some extra cloud cover and perhaps see a few rumbles or hear a few rumbles of thunder as well and see a little bit of lightning. So you saw Tuesday there right over us, and then here is Wednesday as that begins to pull out. The high pressure weakens a little bit on Thursday, but then just re-strengthens basically right up to our south as we head into Friday and next weekend, and that's why we are calling for those much warmer temperatures. For this evening, we'll fall into the 70s here in just a little bit and stay that way through the evening. Really some very comfortable temperatures right around sunset. There's your Mother's Day planner. Certainly might want to get out a little bit early. Once you get past kind of that brunch, Mother's Day brunch time, things start to feel a little bit uncomfortable unless you got a good umbrella outside. There will be a breezy conditions as well. That'll help take some of the edge off of things. Our highs tomorrow, once again, in Central Washington, getting close to 90 degrees. We'll stay in the mid-80s around here and could feel like upper 80s in downtown Spokane. So there it is, folks. We're not cooling down anytime soon. Maybe some hints by the end of next weekend. We might start to head the other direction, but not until then. It's going to be a while.
All right, Matt, thanks for that. Around the nation here tonight, Title 42, the Trump-era health policy that allowed for the quick removal of migrants from the U.S. came to an end earlier this week. Many had predicted a surge of migrants at the southern U.S. border, but the Biden administration says that surge has not been as dramatic as some had expected. The new immigration policy now requires non-Mexican migrants to first apply for and be denied asylum in another country. Migrants will also have to make an appointment on the CBP One app, but it's not easy.
There is no internet going on this border town. Internet's very important, or you can't use the app, and no one ever talks about that fact.
If the new immigration rules aren't followed, migrants could be removed and not allowed to enter the U.S. for at least 5 years. Over in Texas, the state lawmakers voted to pass a bill that would ban minors from undergoing surgery or taking medication for the purpose of transitioning. The legislation does allow for doctors to use medication to help, quote, wean patients undergoing transitioning off of treatment in a safe manner over a period of time. The bill now heads to the Texas Senate. If they approve, the bill will then go to the desk of Governor Greg Abbott, who is expected to sign it into law. Coming up next in sports, the Seattle Seahawks are holding their annual rookie mini camp this weekend, while the team's new Tua's draft picks didn't get much playing time. Next in sports.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
If you have a fear of missing out, you might want to start earning with a free Camas Rewards card because, dude, Camas Rewards at Northern Quest for all the ways you play.
I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well. It's a little pill with a big story to tell. I take once daily Jardiance at each day start. As time went on, it was easy to see I'm lowering my A1C.
Jardiance works 24/7 in your body to flush out some sugar. And for adults with type 2 diabetes and known heart disease, Jardiance can lower the risk of cardiovascular death too. Jardiance may cause serious side effects including ketoacidosis that may be fatal, dehydration that can lead to sudden worsening of kidney function, and genital yeast or urinary tract infections. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Jardiance is really swell, the little pill with the big story to tell.
Oh my gosh, Chris Bryant, Freddie Freeman, hustling in for the new DQ Summer Blizzard menu? Oh, 5 iconic flavors here for a limited time, like new peanut butter puppy chow.
Wow.
And s'mores is back.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow is right.
Hey, guys.
Wow.
The new DQ Summer Blizzard menu. Hustle in before it's gone.
DQ. Happy tastes good.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
Did you know Northern Quest Traeger A Day giveaway gives you a shot at a new Traeger grill every day in May? It also gives you a reason to use Precision Meat Probe in a sentence.
Don't miss your chance to win a new Traeger grill every day in May, only at Northern Quest.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Women Helping Women Fund May 16th Gala.
Well, the Seattle Mariners look to be turning a corner. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesota. Now, typically a game in mid-May wouldn't be considered a big game, but today was a pivotal matchup for the Mariners. Seattle was looking to go above 500, and man, did they deliver. Mariners on the road facing the Detroit Tigers. We start in the 3rd inning. Jarred Kelenic at the plate for Seattle, and that is one strong dude. It's the 8th home run of the season for Kelenic. Seattle goes up 2-0. Next inning, Teoscar Hernandez is up for Seattle, and Hernandez says, hey, Jarred, I lift too, you know. Hernandez makes it 3-0 Seattle. The Mariners also got some great pitching performances today. It started with the young guy, Bryce Miller, going 7 scoreless innings. The bullpen shut it down the rest of the way, and the Mariners, they're sitting pretty right now. Seattle is now a game above 500 after the 5-0 victory. The Mariners will play the Tigers one more time tomorrow before going to Boston to take on the Red Sox for 3 games. The Seattle Seahawks have big plans for their first-round draft picks, Devin Witherspoon and Jackson Smith-Njigba. The two won't be making much of a first impression, though, during their minicamp this weekend. Witherspoon and Njigba are both working their way back from injuries. Each player went through warm-ups and individual drills. The plan is for them to slowly get back to the playing field. Witherspoon and Smith-Njigba were both dealing with hamstring injuries during the pre-draft process. Both players say they're feeling good right now and are looking forward to future off-season workouts.
It's been very cool, though, man. Just an unreal feeling, you know, just one of a lifetime opportunity. So you just try to take it all in, just come out here with the guys. You just come out here and compete, man, just represent the Seahawks and just have that Seahawk on your helmet. It's a lot that plays into it, but it's just kind of feeling you can't really describe.
I just want to get, adjusted as much as I can. Get out here, get my feet wet, put the helmet on and catch some balls and, just do what I do as much as I can and learn the offense, learn where I'm going to be, my position, and just try to get familiar with the team.
The rest of the team is expected to arrive for off-season practices next week. And the Seattle Kraken and Dallas Stars are underway in Game 6 of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Kraken lead 2-1 in the first period. The Stars scored first, but that was followed by goals from Seattle's Yanni Gourde and Jordan Eberle. The Kraken need to win to keep their season alive. If the Kraken pull this off, Game 7 of this series will be Monday night in Dallas. And check this out. This is pretty cool. Gonzaga basketball's Anton Watson competed at the NBA G League Elite Camp this afternoon. The camp is for incoming rookies to show their skills to NBA coaches. The players who perform well are invited to the NBA Combine next week. Watson had 13 points in 20 minutes of play.
Watson has the option to return to Gonzaga for one more season if he does not pursue a pro career. He has until May 31st to withdraw his name from the NBA draft. And the NBA G League camp for Watson continues tomorrow. We expect to hear about his plans in the near future. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning. So you're looking for something to do? We got you. Want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you wanna do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Go to Lake Casino. At the Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
Because we're busy women. We don't have time for lag or buffering.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
The next generation 10G network only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
New Ivisia Dry Eye Drops. Made with hydrating polymers, moisturizing hyaluronic acid, and revitalizing trehalose to reduce dryness, discomfort, and strain. Ivisia. We see a better way.
This all-new Aria is an elegant EV.
Yeah, with 389 horsepower. And all-wheel drive.
It's beautiful.
It's a beast.
It's electric.
With an edge.
Oh, let's go with that.
Get a low $429 per month lease or get 2.99% financing for 36 months on the all-new Aria.
Salonpas Lidocaine Flex, a super thin, flexible patch with maximum OTC strength lidocaine that contours to the body to relieve pain right where it hurts. And did we mention it really, really sticks? Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Who has the deals? Furniture Row. Who has the deals? Furniture Row.
This Memorial Day, we've been training, prepping for savings so big, they're getting backed in by the truckload. The more you buy,
the more you save. Save $100 for every 1,000 you spend.
Check out special purchases while they last. And financing, we're talking 6 years, no interest. But I want to know, do you have the guts to save like never before? The Memorial Day Super Sale, only at Furniture Row.
4 News Now is brought to you by Craig Swap & Associates.
Should be some nice weather for tomorrow. Definitely on the warm side, but hey, you know, take mom out for a walk in the park early. Call your mom if she's not here. Talk about how beautiful the weather is. And if you're going to a concert in the next week, don't eat tomatoes.
Yeah, that's a real incentive not to eat your fruits and veggies, Matt. A tomato sideline to perform it.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's right. Stick to pizza, guys. It's that easy, right? Julian can tell us.
Yeah, sugar with the tomatoes.
Sugar, yeah, that's right. You got to make it at least, you know, desirable to eat, right? That's going to do it from us tonight. Enjoy the game.
Download the 4 News Now app today. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.